The term income includes the following. Any profits or gain made by a person is income. All this amount, whatever we are going to receive, that will be treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the assessee under section 2 subclause 24 by treating as income and taxable according to the head of the income. Royalty received, LIC commission, winning from any lottery, puzzles, card games. If any person receives dividend either from domestic company or foreign company, it is income. Warm welcome to 5th Sem BCom student. The subject we're discussing income tax law and practice 1. I am Professor Rajesh L.R. from Department of Commerce and Management from Vidhyaashram, First Grade College Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So, in our previous session, we discussed about the Income Tax 1961, Annual Finance Acts, which are the things, how they're controlling, what are the income tax rules were they, and what do you mean by circulars, notification, why it has to be given for the persons and judicial decisions and types of taxes we have discussed in our previous session. In today's session, the main agenda will be types of income and income under section 2 subclause 24 of Income Tax Act 1961. Heads of income under section 14, it has been classified, and brief history of income tax in India. These are the major 4 topics what we are going to discuss in our today's session. The first topic what we have here, types of income. It is a 2 marks question. They'll ask, mention the types of income. Don't get confused with types of income and heads of income. Types of income means we have only 2 types of incomes are they. One is Indian income and the other one is foreign income. So, if they ask types of income, we have 2. Heads of income means 5. So, don't get confused. So, understand the question, then you answer. So, then what is income? According to section 2 subclause 24 of IT Act 1961, Income Tax Act 1961, it says the definition is clearly given that one. The term income includes the following. Any profits or gain made by a person is income. If any person receives dividend either from domestic company or foreign company, it is income. Any voluntary contribution is received by a trust which is created by only or partially for charitable or religious purposes or by educational institution, hospitals or electoral trust. So anything, if any trust is receiving voluntarily any contribution from any person, so that is income, it will be treated as income. The value of any perk visit is nothing but benefits received by an employee from his employer. So that will be treated as income. Profit in lieu of salary taxable under section 17. With salary, if he is going to receive any amount of benefit from the employer, sharing the profit of the organization, that is treated as income under section 2 subclause 24. The next, any special allowance granted to the assessee to meet the expenses wholly, necessarily and exclusively for the performance of office or employment duties. If any employee receives any type of special allowance for the purpose of official work and the amount whatever he received from his employer on official purposes only and for official purposes only, it is treated as income and it is taxable under the head of salary. The value of any benefit or perk visit, whether converted into money or not, obtained from a company either by a director or by a person who has substantial interest in the company or by relative of the director or such person, and any sum paid by any such company in respect of any obligation which otherwise would have been payable by the director or other person aforesaid. They're saying that when any amount of benefit received by any director of the organization for the purpose of the company or in the interest of the company's work and other part. So whatever the amount he has received, it is treated as income and it is taxable. The value of benefit or perquisite to a representative assessee like a trustee appointed under a trust. They're saying that whenever a person is appointed as a trustee for the trust activities, if he receives any amount here for the purpose of running the trust or for the benefit of the trust, it will be treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the trustee. Any sum chargeable to income tax under clause 2 and clause 3 of section 28 and section 41 or section 59, that will be treated as income under the Income Tax Act 1961 under section 2 subclause 24. Any sum chargeable to income tax under clauses 3A, 3B, 3C, 4, 5, 5A, 6A of section 28, all this amount, whatever we are going to receive, that will be treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the assessee under section 2 subclause 24 by treating as income and taxable according to the head of the income. Any capital gain chargeable under section 45, if any asset, capital asset transferred by the person during previous year, if has earned any amount from such transfer, that will be treated as capital gain and it is taxable under the head of capital gain under section 45 and it is treated as income. The profits or gains of any insurance business carried on by mutual insurance company or by a cooperative society computed in accordance with section 44 or any surplus taken to be such profit gains by virtue of provisions contained in the first schedule. The schedules, whatever we have here, 14 schedules, in that first schedule, it says that if any company is merged with the insurance company and if it's doing any activities of insurance and if it receives any sum of benefits from the insurance company, that will be treated as income under section 2 subclause 24 as per Income Tax Act of 1961 and it is taxable. The profits and gains of any banking business, including providing credit facilities carried on by a cooperative society with its members. Any profits or gain made by the banking business, including the credit facilities, means here nothing but providing credit facilities, nothing but giving debts and receiving interest on the debts. If it receives the interest on the debts and it is treated as income under section 2 subclause 24 and it is taxable. Any winning from lottery, crossword puzzles, horse races, car race, bike race, card games, other games, any sort from gambling or betting. Whatever the source it may be, that one, if you receive income, it is taxable in the hands of the person and it is treated as income under section 2 subclause 24 and it is taxable under the head of income from other sources. Whatever it may be, income from lottery, if I earn anything from the lottery, the amount whatever I have received here from the lottery, the amount is taxable in my hands. And if I win any car race or any horse race or any bike race, if I receive the amount, it is taxable in my hands and it is treated as income. Any sum received by the assessee from his employees as contribution to any provident fund or superannuation fund or any fund set up under Employee State Insurance Act 1948 or any fund for the welfare of such employee, section 2 subclause 24 subclause 10, it is treated as income for the employer. Any amount received under the key man insurance policy, including the sum allocated by way of bonus, section 2 subclause 24, 11, it is taxable in the hands of the employee. Any sum chargeable to income tax under section 56(2) subclause 5 subclause 6, Any sum of money or specified movable or immovable properties received without any consideration. They're saying that when I'm not giving any amount here for receiving such movable or immovable asset, it is treated as income and it is taxable in my hands. Any consideration received for issue of shares which exceeds the fair market value of shares referred to in section 56 subclause 2 subclause 7b. So they're saying that when the share value is 10 rupees and it has been issued for more than 10, so the amount whatever I've received excess here, the fair market value, excess of fair market value, that amount is treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the person. Any sum of money received as advance in the course of negotiation for transfer of a capital asset, if such sum is forfeited as the negotiation do not resulted in transfer of the asset. They're saying that when for transferring the asset and negotiation what we have made between two parties, in advance already the amount has been received, but the negotiation whatever it was made and the asset what we had to transfer, it was cancelled, but the amount whatever it remains as advance amount, for that it is treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the person. Any sum chargeable to income tax under section 56, any compensation or other payments referred to section 56 to subclause 11, it is taxable in the hands of the person. And normally whatever the income they are receiving, whatever the income from any source, it may be that one, it is treated as income and it is taxable under Income Tax Act 1961 and it is treated as income under section 2 subclause 24. Any amount from anywhere if we receive regularly or on irregular basis, and such amount is treated as income and it is taxable in the hands of the person. So we should know that one under which head of income it is taxable. For example, if I am an employee and my employer is paying any amount for the work whatever we have done here, it is treated as salary and it is taxable under the head of income from salary. If I am going to receive any rent from the tenant, then such amount will be treated as income from house property. If I am doing any trading activities, buying and selling of commodities or goods or services, whatever the amount received by me for the services rendered, it is treated as profits from the business after deducting the expenses incurred for such business activities. The remaining amount is treated as profit and profit is taxable in the hands of the person. If any asset, capital asset, is transferred, either depreciable assets or non-depreciable assets, if it is transferred during previous year, if we receive more than the invested amount, such amount is treated as income and it is taxable under the head of income from capital gain. What are the four heads I have said here? Salary, house property, business and capital gains. Leaving this, whatever the other amount we are going to receive, it is taxable under the head of income from other sources like royalty received, LIC commission, winning from any lottery, puzzles, card games, whatever it may be that one. If I receive any amount, it is taxable as treating it as income in the hands of the person. Heads of income. We have the first head, income from salary, from section 15 to 17 of Income Tax Act 1961, income from house property, section 22-27, profits and gains of business or profession, section 28 to 44 DB, income from capital gain, section 45 to 55A, income from other sources, section 56 to 59. So if they ask you people, mention the heads of income. These are the 5 heads I have to write here. Income from salary, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, and income from capital gains, income from other sources. If you write this one, you can score the marks whatever they're allotted easily. Don't get confused at heads of income as well as types of income. Types of income: 2, Indian income, and foreign income. Heads of income: salary, house property, business or profession, capital gains, and other sources. The brief history of income tax in India. In India, this tax was introduced for the first time in 1860. They started to levy tax in the year 1960 only, but the actual act came into existence from 1961 and it was applicable from 1st April 1962 by Sir James Wilson in order to meet the losses sustained by the government on account of the military in 1857. So there was huge losses it was facing. To cover up those losses, it thought that let me collect some amount from the public. Whatever the amount they collected from the public, they treated that one as tax to cover up the losses sustained due to the war and other part here. Thereafter, several amendments were made from time to time. In 1886, a separate income tax act was passed. This act remained in force up to with the various amendments from time to time. Again, it was changed. In 1918, a new income tax was passed. First, it was started in 1860. It was perfect. Again, they made separate income tax act in 1886. Again, it was changed in 1918. It was replaced by another new act which was passed in 1922. So, whatever the things where they were doing, it was just like a research work or anything what we can say here. They were checking out if we tax on certain commodities or products or services, the tax slabs or rates, whatever we are charging, is it right or wrong? They were just making a survey and based on that they were collecting, but they were not knowing that how much to collect and what to collect, from whom to collect and why to collect. So this was the problem they were facing. For that reason, they formed the principles of tax, that is nothing but canons of taxation. In that concept, we are going to discuss each and every principle, what they levied and how they levied. This act remained in force up to the assessment year 1961-62. That is nothing but whatever the changes are made in 1922, that was there up to 1961-62 with numerous amendments. The Income Tax Act 1961 has been brought into force with 1st April 1962. It applies to the whole India and Sikkim, including Jammu Kashmir. Since 1962, several amendments of far-reaching nature have been made in the Income Tax Act by the Union Budget every year. Since from 1961-62, every year they're making certain amendments, they're modifying, they're upgrading the rules, and according to the requirement of the society needs, they're collecting and they're giving benefit for the society as well as for the individual person who is paying the tax, and who should pay tax and how much he should pay. Every year they're making certain modification and supporting for the people and for the nation in all the endures. In the upcoming session, let us discuss about charge of income tax, assessment year, previous year, person, assessee, agricultural income and mixed agricultural income and business income. In the upcoming session, whatever we are going to discuss, there will be compulsory 2 marks and 10 marks question. So understand the concepts easily where you can score the marks, and even it can be utilized for your future activities of income, what you're earning, where it is taxable and how much it is taxable. It can be easily known by the students who are going to be earning their income in the future. Namaste to 5th Sem BCom students. In today's session, we learned the types of income under section 2 subclause 24 and the heads of income. Thank you once again.